Hello and welcome back to Helen's Homemade. I promised you pies, so I'm definitely doing that today. I'm a little quiet today, so I do apologize. My cat is sleeping and it's like a whole thing, so I made a smaller setup just on my phone. But I wanted to make sure that you guys saw this. So I have to make 2 pies. So if you need to make 1 pie, you can downgrade the recipe by half. Okay, I'll put the recipe down below for 1 pie, and you know, if you need to double, obviously use the ones I'm giving to you right now. So I made the pumpkin puree in the last video, and what I did was I roasted it with all of the sugar and cinnamon and cloves and all that, and again, I'll list that in the description box below. I did make a video but it didn't turn out that great. I may re-up that later and try to redo it because I have more pumpkin puree to roast. So I twice roasted that. Now I have all of that in this bowl. I have 4 cups of it. Okay, so after I roasted it with all the sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, all of that, it's much better if you roast it in it, because then, you know, all that sugar melts already. It doesn't have to do it twice. And you know, compete with the eggs and the milk and everything else in this baking. Makes baking a lot easier. So I have 4 cups of my prepared pie filling already done, put in this bowl. Again, if you have pie filling, pumpkin puree, you can just add those spices to it and sugars and everything else, or you can get pumpkin pie filling, but again, like preserves and all that stuff in cans. Like, I try to stay away from it. So I already have 2 pies, prepared doughs in here. I use Alton Brown's recipe for pie dough. If you want that, let me know. I can supply that in the description box below as well. But you can also get frozen pie crust, or the crust that come in the box. Sometimes I have used that when I have like 20 million pies to make. It happens. But anyway, I have pie filling ready, and what I'm gonna do is I have 6 eggs in this small cup, and I'm gonna whisk that before I put it in. This way it is ready to go, and it has a lot less to do. So 6 whisked eggs. Again, this is for 2 pies, so if you want 1 pie, only 3 eggs. Okay, the eggs, and I have 2.5 cups of milk. Like half of it is half and half of it is 1% milk. But again, you can use whatever milk you know you have on hand, or even evaporated milk. My mom always made it that way. So 2.5 cups, so that would be like 1 1/4 cups of milk for 1. Okay, so we're gonna whisk that together, and then our last ingredient is like the most important ingredient, I think, and a lot of people don't. I didn't always use this, but I feel like it stabilizes the custard a lot more when you use it. I use a 1/4 cup of flour for this. So I'd be like 2 tablespoons for 1 pie. Okay. And again, my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees, same as when you're roasting it. So if you know, roasted it not too far, at least it's easier to remember. So the flour, I believe, stabilizes the custard. It you know, makes it easier to cut, and is not as like, not watery, but also not, it's not dry either when you make it. So once this is all ready, I'm gonna stop whisking. It's all mixed up. I'm just gonna pour these in my pies, and then we're gonna bake them. All right. The easiest way to pour, I found, is you take your pie pans. Because I have 2, I zigzag them on the baking sheet so that they fit. put this on the rack and then pour it right in. This way you don't have any spills. Okay? So I'm gonna pull that out. I have those in there, and then I'm just gonna pour that. Pour this back into the measuring cup because that'll make it easier to pour. Okay. Stop some milk in there. Okay. So pour it in the cup, not the measuring cup, and then you're gonna pour it right in the pie pan. You know, and give it a little bit of space because it does puff up, and you don't want it to overflow over the crust because then it will burn. You know, especially if it goes on the bottom of your oven, it will burn. So I have the second pie. I'm gonna put the second pie in, and then we're gonna bake this for 40 minutes, and then I'll come see you later, okay? Bye. Hey guys, and welcome back to Helen's Homemade. So 40 minutes has passed, and my pies are already done. Okay, I let them cool for a few minutes, but look at that. Look at that pie. It's so great. They have, so they set a little bit. It was puffed when it came out of the oven, and it's just set. You know, if you have a little bit of a jiggle in the middle, it's okay. Pull it out, let it set. It'll finish cooking outside of the oven as it cools down. Okay, but if you know, if it's already completely set in the oven, it is overbaked. Which is not the end of the world with a pumpkin pie, because, you know, just let it completely cool. It might crack. That's about it. And you can cover that up with whipped cream. Okay? So not the end of the world, certainly. But like I said, like that flour stabilizes it a lot better than, you know, just having it without, and just the eggs and the milk and the sugar and stuff. I like these cool, and I'm gonna let you guys go, but I will have some more pumpkin recipes in the next coming days. I'm gonna use this setup with the one camera just because it's easier to get out to you guys quickly. Without editing too much, but I hope you guys have a happy holiday, and I look forward to sending you guys some more videos in the next coming days, okay?